and welcome to Hexed Countered. I'm Joe. I just wanted to do a quick wrap up of D-Day week. Now, I didn't get as much done as I wanted to, but we did play Band of Brothers Screaming Eagles, as well as The Last 100 Yards Volume 5 for King and Country. So we got both the Americans and the British, and actually in both cases airborne into this year's kind of D-Day thing. Now, I haven't really done a specifically like D-Day week before. This was kind of a first time, but I did have a lot of fun, and the hardest part was actually deciding what games I was going to use. And so I thought I would talk briefly about the games that I really considered doing and did not do. So I'll give you that. We'll take a couple minutes and just kind of wrap up our salute to the D-Day invasion of June 6, 1944. So the first, well, I shouldn't say the first, but some of the other games that I would mention. Fighting Formations, 29th Infantry Division from GMT Games. That one was definitely strongly considered to be included in this, as was Old School Tactical Volume 2. Probably, well, I could have done the base game or also the Airborne expansion. I have both. I am a fan of Old School Tactical. I chose to go a different way, obviously, with Last 100 Yards Volume 5 because I had not done any gameplay for that video. I've done Old School Tactical gameplay, but not for Volume 2. So I would like to get both of the games I've already mentioned that did not get played. I would really enjoy and hope to get on the channel here. In addition to that, of course, there were things like Cobra. I strongly considered doing Cobra as maybe the only game for D-Day. The same would be true for Normandy 44. Definitely a strong contender. And there were a few others, but those were the main four, I guess, that I considered strongly to do as part of this D-Day celebration, so to speak. Now, talking about how things went, I obviously made some mistakes, which I typically do. So I apologize for that, and I appreciate the guys who corrected me or offered tips and tricks and things I missed and so on and so forth. But in general, I think everything went pretty well. The Band of Brothers video did very well. The Last 100 Yards video, now it's only been up less than a day as I'm doing this, so I can't really say for sure that I think it was quote unquote a failure or a success. But I do feel like it surprised me a little bit. Like the duration of view in terms of how long people watch it is up like greatly. And that's always a fantastic thing for me as a content creator, to see that people actually watch not just for a couple minutes, but they watch a big chunk of the video. But the number of views is actually surprisingly low to me. Mostly because this is a GMT product. And maybe people are just, it's not brand new. It's not incredibly old either, but it's not brand new, so maybe people aren't interested in it. Maybe they're just not interested in the British forces. I doubt that, but it is, possible, I guess, right? So in general, I think, both of those videos have done well. At least well enough for sure that I will do this again. So when we roll around to June 6, 2027, I will probably, assuming I'm still around, I will probably do something like this again, with perhaps maybe an operational game or two. In general, I kind of got stuck a little bit because I was pretty sick in May. Late May, second half of May, I was pretty sick. And so I took some time off from the channel, and, suddenly it's like, oh, it's going to be D-Day anniversary and I'd like to do something for that. And it's like, well, you're way behind and you haven't done anything in 2 weeks. So what are you going to do? So that was definitely part of why I did this. So like I said, I just wanted this to be a quick update. I thank everybody who watched that stuff. I know some wanted to see more of Last 100 Yards, and I will play more Last 100 Yards for sure. As for what's coming up the rest of the month, we do have Saipan, 1944 from Avalanche Press Panzer Grenadier game to kind of do a similar salute to the Marianas campaign, which started in June of 44. I also thought about doing something on the capture of Rome. That's a little bit harder in terms of games to find things on. Not impossible, because that also took place on that occurred on June 4th, the capture of Rome, a couple days before D-Day, so it completely got overshadowed by that. But yeah, Saipan, and then something Barbarossa. And I'm going to have the same thing with Barbarossa. Like, what game do you play, right? I've got oodles of Eastern Front games that either touch on or are focused on the fighting in 41. So I also may do Bagration instead, right? Which also started on June 22nd of 44. So that would also be a strong possibility. That was, of course, the Soviet counter, if you will, to Barbarossa. And they annihilated Army Group Center. They took a massive amount of casualties in doing so, but that was definitely a resounding victory for the Soviets. So I'm going to wrap it up now. I promised to keep it short, so I will try to do that. I thank you for watching once again. Quick shout out to my channel members. Thank you guys, as always, for your support. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to everyone who watches. Thank you to everyone who likes, shares, hypes, maybe even subscribes on this video or anything else that's, recent or coming up soon or happens anytime at all. Hopefully you'll come back, check out some stuff. Like I said, look for Saipan. I'm also going to try to squeeze in some Old School Tactical Volume 5 in the not too distant future because it's new. I like Old School Tactical and I like Tactical in general, but I like that game a lot. So we'll definitely get something from that up here on the channel in the not too distant future. I'm out of breath. That's going to do it for this one. Thank you for watching. I'm Joe. This is Hexed Countered. And as always, happy gaming.